No Harry Potter movie is
And
good.
you're like, give me the Snyder Cut. Oh, sorry, just walk in front of you here. Gonna put my popcorn down. Oh, sorry, gotta put this here.
Universal needs to sue Sony.
Hey, I'm an idiot. I was fired from Fox. Let me go.
I'd like actually to see Venom just crush Spider-Man.
Hello everyone. So I'm back today, and I'm actually going to talk about. So I was thinking I don't know how to do that. How I was going to do this, but I've decided how I'm going to do it now. I'm going to do one review for this movie and one review for the next movie that I saw. So first, let's talk about My Policeman. So I watched this movie, and I went in. I'm not going to lie. Anyone who follows me on Twitter knows this. I went in and I was kind of questioning why the hell I'm watching this movie, because I was like, I don't know. Mainly because I knew I had The Fabelmans next, and I was like, I don't like watching movies back to back in theaters. It kind of messes with my brain. I've done it twice in the last 2 weeks, so that's fun. But anyways, so I went into this movie and I was like, let's see what this is about. Sat down, and I'm telling you, the first probably about hour or so of the movie, I'm really bad at with this whole time thing in terms of movies. About probably first halfway through the movie, let's say, I'm like, okay, this is a little bit slow here. I'm not sure if I'm digging this. I can understand why people like this, but maybe this is just not my speed. But then, holy crap, man, this becomes amazing. There's such a point in the, initially, I'm not even joking when I say this. I was literally trying to decide how I should talk about this movie about halfway through it. I was like, I came up actually a really nice analogy about how, these are all these amazing puzzle pieces, just like you gave it to a 2-year-old to try to put together and it's just not working. And I'm not even going to lie to you. That was my mindset in the first half of the movie. The second half of the movie is like, holy crap, this is amazing. That movie, the second half, there's a switch and it just becomes amazing. Now, I'm going to talk about why it becomes amazing, because obviously you're not hearing just me to hear me say it's amazing. But the reason this is amazing is because this movie, well, first of all, Harry Styles can actually act. This is something that was news to me. He can actually act, so that's very good. But secondly, there's a point in this movie where these characters essentially start to unravel. And I don't want to spoil too much in this review, but these characters essentially start to unravel. And what I mean by that is you basically see the first half of the movie. You kind of okay, I think this character's a little bit of an asshole. I think this character's a little bit, whatever. And you kind of decide who the good character is and who the bad characters are. But then there's the point. There's a turning point. There's a few scenes in particular. And that just changes. And when it changes, the entire dynamic of the story changes. And you're like, oh shit, this is really happening. And that's what I think is so amazing about this movie, is that it's basically told in two halves. The first half is a little bit messy, and it's like, but then they basically do that half again with some new context, and oh man, do things change. Then you kind of realize, and even going back then, look at the beginning in context, you're like, oh crap, this is amazing. Whoa. And that's what I felt about this movie, because the way they basically start to rip apart the characters in the second half, and they kind of essentially redo what you saw in the first half again in the second half, but with added context, and you're like, oh my god, that is amazing. Now there's also some other moments throughout the movie, whatever, that are really good. And again, the one thing is, in the first half especially, they rushed a lot of that. And again, they did come back to a lot of it in the second half and really solved a lot of my issues with it. But I would have liked to see a little bit more of the first half. And again, I know it's time constraints with making the movie and stuff, but I mean, I ended up enjoying it. Actually, it's funny. So I was watching it, and someone behind me was in tears at the end, and the whole crowd was very into it. And it was a great time. This is a movie, and I didn't expect, because typically speaking, just because, movies are insanely fucking expensive right now, and in general, I don't watch, non-blockbusters essentially on the big screen unless it's a very rare occasion. So, and this is obviously not a blockbuster movie by any stretch of the imagination, but I feel like watching this movie with a crowd is so different than because I guarantee you, if I did not watch this at TIFF, I would have watched this at home. I would not have gone to a theater to watch this, and it's just because, I spend my money wisely in terms of movies. I'm not gonna, because Black Panther, Black Adam, those are movies I'm gonna watch in a theater, but, probably not going to watch My Policeman in the theater, not because it's a bad movie, just because, better not going to spend my money for no reason, essentially no reason, right? Like I can rent it when it comes out on digital and watch it at home. But I think this is one of those movies where it's like, I would have regretted not watching this with a crowd, just because I don't think my reaction would be the same about this movie if I had watched it alone. I think the crowd getting so into it really did do something in terms of like, making me feel a little bit more invested in this movie, especially, and I think it might also be part of the fact that I could not leave that movie because I was, obviously whatever. If I had rented or whatever, I could have left it or, started doing something else, but I think because I was forced to get through the first half, and because the first half, I'm not going to lie, it was a struggle. And it's not, again, not a criticism necessarily of the movie, it's just more of, I think it also has a lot to do with my taste in movies, and I was just not feeling that first half. It was slow, the fun moments were kind of like, washed away very quickly. But then the second half does really redeem it. There's a fight, which I really put up there with, like, the Marriage Story fight and a few other fights. Verbal fights, obviously, not physical fights, but, like, where it really just hits the spot at that point in the movie, and you're like, oh, crap, I'm invested again. And, yeah, and it's very interesting to see all the dynamic changes and all that stuff. It was a really good movie overall. I highly recommend you watch this thing. It was again, fantastic. And Harry Styles can act, people. I didn't think that was going to happen. I honestly did not think I would come out of the movie realizing Harry Styles could act. Like, Harry Styles cool, but, like, I thought he was more of, like, a Chris Hemsworth type where it's like, he can act with the right story, but if you give him Men in Black, he's going to suck. But no, I was wrong. Apparently he can act. So, good job, Marvel, for landing him, I guess. So we're going to see him as Eros. We'll get to see an actor who can act. Honestly, I didn't see that coming, so that's cool. Anyways, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share your thoughts, follow us on social media. All means so much to me. Thank you all for watching, and see you all next time. Bye.